Ah, okay.
So,
Well, I know that this was a play that was made into a movie.
mm-hmm.
Cary Grant, I believe, was the
Yep.
nephew. And I remember seeing that movie so long ago, and it was just hilarious. So
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine the play is probably even better.
Yeah, it's one of the few movies that the stage adaptation of it is pretty much to the T.
Hmm.
So if you enjoyed the movie, you're gonna enjoy the stage play even more.
Very cool. Um, so who's in it?
Who's in it? Well, our main aunts are played by Roxy Callison and Joni Jonas. They're both actresses that have been in theater for many, many years.
Hmm.
Mortimer Brewster is being played by Adrian Kinney, who's been in shows around the city for a while now. And Jonathan Brewster is played by Gary L. Foyles, and he's been around. He does a lot of things in Topeka, but we're lucky to have him here in Wichita.
Very cool. Okay. Well, and Wichita Community Theatre, tell us a little bit about that. Where is it located?
Wichita Community Theatre is at 258 North Fountain. It's right in the heart of College Hill, and it's actually, the current building is an old Jewish synagogue. It used to be the location of Congregation Emmanuel back in the 1920s through the 1960s. So it's pretty easy to get to. You just go to take Kellogg to Oliver, Oliver to 2nd Street, 2nd Street to Fountain, and you're there.
Very cool. Now, I asked you earlier because this surprised me. How long has Wichita Community Theatre been in existence?
Well, Wichita Community Theatre, we're in our 65th season this year.
Wow.
We
Just
started
amazes
in
me.
1946. A lady named Mary Jane Teal
Oh, okay.
created the theater at the First Unitarian Church,
Hmm.
and shortly thereafter it got a lot of volunteers, and they started doing productions at the Wilner Auditorium at WSU.
Okay.
Well, in the 1960s, Congregation Emmanuel moved out of their location at 2nd and Fountain, and the community theater bought that building cash.
Wow.
And then when Century 2 was built in 1969, there was a little theater that was built for about 600 seats. Now it's called the Mary Jane Teal Theater.
Exactly.
Well, community theater performed there from 1969 until 1991.
Okay.
So in 1991, there were some financial issues, and they were forced to move all the productions from Century 2 to the current workshop at 2nd and Fountain. And now we are financially stable, and we've had really good seasons for at least a decade and a half now.
Very cool. Well, and it's all volunteer.
It is all volunteer. Everyone from the board members to the directors to the actors, the people that work the box office, the snack bar. We produce 8 shows per year on a strictly volunteer basis.
Wow. And that takes a lot of dedication from people.
It does.
Because most of these people, because this is volunteer, you all have other jobs.
Yep. Yep. Like I have an 8 to 5 job. Most other people do. So we do all of our work on weekends and nights.
And evenings, right. Which sometimes you probably feel like you don't have another life, do you?
Yeah. There are times where you will eat 3 meals at the theater, and they'll take a nap on the couch in the lobby because you just have so much stuff to do. But it is completely worth it.
Well, if you really love theater, of course, those are sacrifices you're not going to be unwilling to make.
Yes, and there are volunteers that may volunteer once a year, and that's perfectly fine because it's still volunteerism, and it still gets you out there and involved in the community.
Well, right, and any help is help.
Yes, exactly, exactly. So we're always looking for new volunteers. As I said before, I'm the volunteer coordinator. My email address is volunteer@wctinc.kscoxmail.com. And if you can't remember all that, you can look on the website, wichitacommunitytheater.com. I'm listed all over the place there. And we have a mailing list where we announce volunteer opportunities. You can join the mailing list. We've got a Facebook group.
I was going to ask you if you had a Facebook page.
We've got a Facebook page. We've got a Twitter account, a YouTube account.
So if you can't find them, you're not looking.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So we're well connected in the community, but we're always looking to be more well connected.
What are some of the other, or are you at liberty to talk about some of the other productions that are coming up?
Well, we announce our seasons in one block, and so the production that's coming up after Arsenic and Old Lace opens is Becky's New Car, and it's directed by Warren Deckert, who's the former artistic director of the Great Bend Community Theatre, if I remember correctly. And auditions for that are January 30th and 31st, and they are open auditions. All you have to do is go on the website, find out the audition notice, show up, and we'll audition you. And then after that is the classic To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee, the stage adaptation of the classic novel. And so that show is going to require an extremely large cast of varied ages and varied racial backgrounds. So we're looking for as many new volunteers and new actors to put on stage as possible.
Sure, this could be somebody's big break.
Exactly. And the audition notice for that is likewise on the website. So,
how many people do you seat in that theater?
We seat, depending on the configuration, we seat between 80 and 100. It is a small theater. It's very intimate, but you really get a good connection. It's really,
I would imagine you do.
Yeah, it really helps the whole live theater experience, being involved in a show. So.
I would think so too. And if at any time you do ask for audience participation, you got it.
There you go. And they're feet away. So there's no bad seats in the theater.
Very cool. And now the production of Arsenic and Old Lace runs from what date to what date?
It opens January 27th, next Thursday, and it closes February 13th, that Sunday.
Okay.
So performances are 8 p.m. Thursday through Saturday and 7 p.m. on Sunday. Tickets are $10 if you're a senior, a student, or military, $12 for regular admission. On opening night, we have a special deal for $8 for all.
Oh, wow.
So, and if you volunteer, you get in free.
Very cool. Well, that's really